Hey yo everyone, I am Ignim, and this is the next episode in the Castlevania Chronicles playthrough. So, let's get to it. So this one wasn't as hard as I was expecting, and I think I won't need the holy water. I think I can beat in the evolved version with the cross in an easier manner than I could with the... Although I won't have hearts for it, I think. Oh, I just forgot that I need to jump in the proper moment. There we go. Is it always like removing just a single block of health? It seems like it. Yeah, and there's not the bullshit that he used to do in the first one where he teleported on top of me. And then just by moving slightly to the side, he would just like hit us regardless. It was very fucking hard to escape. I recall it. You're stuck in that corner though? Well, just when I said it. Could it be that just jumping works? I don't think so, anyway. Because of the way he throws the fireballs. If I just jump, I think I'm going to land on the lower fireball. Nice that they kinda kept the mechanics. I mean, it's being a remake makes sense. Oh, just two more. And this fucker's going to heal up. Another one. There we go, you bastard, jump way earlier. Let's, just in case... No, where's the tongue? And save. I mean, it could be that it's not as hard and we could brute force it. Who knows? Yeah, force. Oh, he gets his tongue locked then. Oh. Yeah, he gets his tongue locked. Keeping the cross was a good idea. Although I don't like the fucking thing that he does there. Just a single attack. Damn go. Wasn't that hard though. Is that it? It seems like it's going to be it, but at the same time it seems like it isn't. You goddamn bat head. I like how the castle seems to be melting. Although I don't think it is melting, it is more so like it is falling like into dust. What the fuck? That ending was weirdly similar to producer Ig. That's it. Fucking Garashi, man. That ending was way too much like Symphony of the Night. Although, this version that I'm playing on the PS1 came, if I recall correctly, after Symphony of the Night. So, I don't know if on the original version and the Sharp X68000 or something, I don't recall the full name. I don't know if the original one, or even if we play in the original version on this one, if it is going to have that ending. It could be that this ending is pretty much the rehashed version of the Symphony of the Night ending. Oh, fuck's sake. I think that's why Dracula throws the cup. It could be that they changed because the arranged version comes after. Fucking damn it. It could be that they just like made it as close as possible, like him sitting there. It could be that in the original one he doesn't sit in there on his throne, and he doesn't throw the thing. I don't know. I could look at the ending. I could also place the ending here. Just the ending for the original one. Although it's just, I don't exactly like, because for example, if I am going to place the ending for the original version, I would have to get it from somewhere, and I don't exactly like grabbing like content from others and just like placing here. I would have to ask for it, and then there's like the time, the person might not reply in time before this episode goes live, so there's way too much problems. Way too many problems. So I don't know if it is a good idea. I'm not going to place it. I'm going to look into it maybe, and then I'm going to write on the screen. I'm gonna write on the screen and explain if it is indeed how it happens in the original one or not. I mean, you're free to look into it and find the ending for the original version. I just really don't want to... I don't think it is considered plagiarizing, but I don't exactly like doing it. And I also don't want to... because there is a problem. There are some things that I can't do because of how my mind works. Because if I do something and my mind considers it a shortcut and it's easier, and it could be that in the future I will try doing it over and over again because my brain just thinks, well, that is easier. There's no way to... Because there is the autism side that wants to... I still don't understand why that thing isn't there. That's fucking dumb. The tail in there, I think it's just for show. I mean, it's a nice show of... a nice show of a feature or whatever the fuck. But yeah, it is problematic. Like, you have no idea how hard it was for me to not keep using the rewind function. I had to like put in my head like for a long time for me to not use it after having used on the... what game was it? I think it was Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse. Yeah, I think it was on that one. And after it's just like, I need to fight the urge to enable the rewind function. I am going to enable on certain games that I know that there's a fuck ton of bullshit. But on most games I need to keep it disabled, otherwise I will just like keep rewinding over and over again. Which isn't exactly a bad thing. It's pretty much the same as you opening up the menu, reloading again and shit. But the main problem is that if you keep the sound, if you keep the sound from going rewinding, it is garbled. It makes a lot of fucking noise that is just like pain in the ass. And if I remove the sound, it is completely muted. So that's a problem as well. Both are problems for the video itself and not for the game, because you watching that would have to either hear a bunch of garbled noise every single time that I rewind, or you would just go completely full mute, and that is like it is at least for me it is disturbing. It's just like, Not disturbing, distracting. I think distracting is a better word for it. Yeah, he's gonna... I remember looking at this demo, he kind of hints that there's something there, but doesn't go into. But yeah, I liked the game. It is considerably nice. Way better than playing the original one. Jesus fucking Christ, nothing like... There is... if I recall correctly, the original one is still the worst for me. Like, it is still the worst game. In all of the ones that I played, even the first one on the first Game Boy game, Castlevania, it is better than the original Castlevania. Just like, fuck that game, man. It's just, Jesus. I keep remembering the death fight, and then afterwards Dracula. Just the amount of times that I had to fight those fuckers. Hell, just like thinking about it, just like gives me PTSD, the memories. Pain years. But yeah, there's another thing as well. Just quick one before I keep talking about the game again. I thought that the next game would be Dracula X, so that I could play Symphony of the Night afterwards, but no, it isn't. There is two possibilities. Either, because for example, there is Castlevania Rondo of Blood, which is the next game. Sure. Which is the next game. The problem is that Dracula X is not after Rondo of Blood. And if I recall correctly, Dracula X is kind of... I wouldn't call it a remaster, but a re-release, I think? I don't recall exactly. For Rondo of Blood. And it pretty much like improves on missing content and some other things. And improves on... I still need to look into a proper... Look into it to see the proper differences. But there is a problem. The next one, being Rondo of Blood, we could, because for example, this game, Castlevania Chronicles, was released after Symphony of the Night. But the Castlevania Chronicles one, the original one, was released before. And the way that I'm doing these things is playing it's playing in release order. And not in chronological order because there is a timeline, there's a mess, but I always like to play in release order. Only if a game was made, for example, in the same era, and it is wrong in the chronological order compared to the release order, then sure, playing one before the other makes sense. Because it is in the same ballpark in technologies and shit. It is not going to change as much, so you can pretty much just skip and play then in chronological order. Like for example, let's say the Tomb Raider games. If they were released in a specific order but chronologically was inversed, you could play it inversed, even like in chronological order, because the quality between each one is pretty much the same thing. Even though they differ a lot between one and the other, but then at the end of the day it's just all 3D, which is just like the graphics are good regardless of if it is the first one or the last one. They are pretty much all good. So there's not that much reason. But there is this game that was released before, in release order was all before Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night, so even though I am playing the version that is after it, chronologically, by release, it is the earlier one. Because comparing this one with I think he died in the same way that I died once. I remember dying that same manner. Huh. Sure. Why the fuck am I holding the controller? It's not like I'm going to keep playing. But yeah, so there is a problem. Because after this game, it comes Rondo of Blood. And after Rondo of Blood, it is not Symphony of the Night. I thought it was. It isn't. There is Castlevania Bloodlines in between, which is a game that I didn't even knew existed as well. I remember some months ago seeing some things about it, but I didn't know where exactly it was placed. And it kind of is a weird game because it almost looks like it is a fan game. And then there's the fact that on it you can choose 2 characters, so I don't know if I will play with both characters. This is one thing that I'm thinking about, because I know, if I recall correctly, that on Rondo of Blood you can play with more than 1 character, although I don't exactly know how exactly it works. And there is Symphony of the Night as well, that you can play with Richter, with Maria, with Alucard, and even with the Axe Armor. Which is very fun, and it's spoilers if you never knew about it, but I mean, it's fucking old as hell, so... But yeah, I think that I'm going to play with those characters, because I never played with them. At least on Symphony of the Night, I never played with any other character besides Alucard. I played with the other ones just to see how they played, and then I thought, well, I'm not gonna fucking play with them, I just finished the game. Because if I recall correctly, you need to finish the game in order to play with some of those characters. And there's also the Saturn version that Maria plays completely different on that one, if I recall correctly. Or it could be that Maria is only on the Saturn version. I don't recall exactly. There's like some discrepancies on it. And there's also I need to still think if I'm going to play the PSP version or not. I don't exactly want to. I know that there are some changes on it, but I don't want it because they changed the voice actors for it. They hired like better voice actors, but now that the voice acting is better, the game looks worse, because I'm used to the original version and the weird translations and voice acting on it. But yeah, since the way the releases go is Castlevania Rondo of Blood, and then Castlevania Bloodlines, and then Castlevania Dracula X. So if I play by release order, I should play Castlevania Rondo of Blood or Dracula X in the same way that I played this one. I just played in the release version, but I played the better version of it, which for Castlevania Rondo of Blood would be Dracula X. So, but then if I do, after I finish it, I will have to play Castlevania Bloodlines. And then after it, then I would have to play Symphony of the Night. So there is a problem. I wanted to play them in like Rondo of Blood, and then afterwards directly like Symphony of the Night, like back to back. I think it is the best option, because it is a continuation of the story. So I think that the next one is going to be Castlevania Bloodlines. I still am going to look into it, but it's very likely that I'm going to play it. And there is a weird thing as well, because the Nintendo 64 Castlevanias are way ahead in the release order. I thought it was like close to Symphony of the Night, but it doesn't seem like it. I mean, it could be that it's very close and shit, but in the same year, but in the amount of games in between, I think there's 3 or 4 games, although most of them are re-releases. And there is a specific Game Boy game. There's still one Game Boy game. The third one, which I really want to play that one. I'm not going to say exactly why, but when we reach that point, it is possible that it's going to be clear. And I hope it is similar to Belmont's Revenge, because if it is similar to the first one, fuck me. That is going to be just pain. But yeah, Castlevania Chronicles. As I said, I liked it. Way better than playing the original one. I dislike the fact that they removed the moving whip from Super Castlevania 4. I liked it a lot. It provided a lot of flexibility to the way you play the game. Not requiring you to jump in order to attack a thingy. To attack a candle or whatever the fuck it is. Or even attack opponents below you or above by just like swinging the whip. That was awesome. I wish they kept it on this version. The music's nice, although I heard a lot that the arranged version music, it's ass. I don't exactly think it is bad. It could be that the original version is better, but it's being better doesn't mean that this one is trash. It just means that in comparison the other one is better. But this one is still good. It could, as I said, it could be that it's not as good, but without like knowing how the other one is, this one is good. I mean, he rehashes some of the original ones in a nice manner. This one, for example, is nice. But graphics, nice. I enjoyed it. There's a considerable increase in... I mean, it makes sense. But it is interesting to see how changed it is. And how they could kind of apply the changes with graphics and keep kind of the original formula very similar. Like even the demo suffers through that section. And on gameplay, I don't think there's much to be said. Pretty much it's the same fucking thing still. I liked some of the enemies, like the new animations for them, and being able to see some of them that I know that exist in Symphony of the Night. That is awesome as well. That is, as I say, in pretty much every single playthrough, regardless of the game it is, that is one of the main reasons, like, seeing what was before, because most of the experiences that I have is post Symphony of the Night, and I don't know much before of it. I think I've played all of the games after Symphony of the Night, excluding the way newer ones, the 3D ones on PC. Those ones I never played. I have no fucking idea how they play. They look a lot like, as far as I've seen, they look a lot like Darksiders. Is it Darksiders? Yeah, I think it's Darksiders. They look a lot like it. And if they play like similar to it, I'm going to enjoy the fuck out of them. But I think I rambled long enough. I mean, this this video was pretty much what, 2-3 minutes of 2-3 minutes of gameplay, and possibly the rest just me rambling about random shit. Yeah. Oh, it's bleepy as fuck. I'm gonna go. Still have other games to record. But yeah, see you. And that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and I see you next time.